The egg bag has been around for over 3 centuries, and it's delighting audiences today just as it did almost 300 years ago. Illusionists have done it in different ways over the years. Some of the old-timers like Fu Manchu and Dante used to use really large egg bags. They would produce maybe a dozen or so eggs, a couple of dozen, and then they would produce a live chicken from it. Dante actually used to produce different size eggs according to how hard the spectator would blow on the bag. He played it more as a personality piece, which is the way I think the egg bag should be played. The smaller egg bag, the ones that fit on our hands, was originated around the early 1900s and or popularized at least by Arnold de Beer. I think that his is the same sort of bag that was later used by Max Malini and then Charlie Miller, and currently Johnny Thompson is using it to wonderful, wonderful effect. Now, the other type of egg bag that fits on the hand, the smaller style egg bag, that has been quite long neglected is the Tarbell style bag, the one that I prefer to call the Senyamado bag, although other people have called it the Sterling bag. Now I know that's confusing, but in Tarbell, in the Tarbell course, he gives us a design for a cloth bag that's made out of tartan, and he uses the tartan pattern to conceal the design. Now, his bag was actually a little bit more longer than it was deep, and I thought it was a little unwieldy, even though this is the bag that is used by Ross Bertrand in his book, The Magical Methods of Ross Bertrand. He uses the Tarbell bag in a very nice sleight of hand routine. I'd like to show you a little mystery using a cloth bag, a rather unusual bag in as much as the inside of the bag is exactly the same as the outside, except of course it's on a different side. Now, using this bag I can show you some pretty amazing stuff, but I do need to borrow something. Does anybody by any chance happen to have an egg?
No. No.
No.
Oh, that's very well said. No. Well, it's okay. We can use mine. I have one. Now, using this egg in the little cloth bag, as I said, I can show you some magic. Now, my problem is this. I have to make the egg disappear. I'll conceal it for just a second like this, a little tug, and it's gone. Now, it doesn't go very... Oh, thank you. It doesn't go very far. If you want to get it back, it actually goes here underneath the arm. I'll do that for you again. Look, here's the egg. I'll place it against the bag and fold that corner over. Snap of the fingers, and once again it's gone, from the inside and the outside. Now, let me see. So would you mind helping me out? I'll invite you up here. Hi, how do you do? My name's Martin.
Al.
Al, how do you do? Al, first of all, here's the little cloth bag. You can see nothing out. In fact, would you reach inside, grab the button, pull it inside out? Did you feel anything in there?
Feel anything, no.
Take a look. Do you see anything inside there?
Not at all.
No? To get the egg back, a snap of the fingers, and it comes right back in the bag.
Sweet.
I'll tell you how that's done.
I like that.
Now, I'm going to explain to everybody how that's done. So stay here with me for just a second. Here's the egg. Here's the bag. Now, I'll put it inside. Can you feel it right there on the palm of my hand?
Sure can.
Yeah, my job is to make it disappear. Now, I know a lot of people think that I put it under the arm. I know that. All those people think that I got it tucked away, raise their hands. Okay, so we didn't hear much on that, did we? Here's a little cloth bag. The egg's gone. Take a look on the inside. Pull it inside out. Feel anything in there?
Not a thing.
No? Take a look. Do you see anything inside there?
No.
No? With your fingers, pinch the bag right just here. With the other hand, reach inside. Take out the egg. Hold it up. Take a little back.
Oh.
And thank you very much. Thank you. Now, there's been a lot of different bags around over the years, as you can imagine. There's been novelty type bags. Well, here's a novelty type bag. This one, you can show a little bag with a net front on it, and magically cause an egg to visibly appear inside the bag, just like this. It's quite nice, but it's very limited in its use. The bag that is the blue-eyed boy these days is, of course, the Malini bag. This is the Malini bag. It's made out of a black or dark blue material, generally a crepe, and it has a pocket in one corner of the bag. That's up inside in one corner. There's a pocket. That means the egg placed up inside and dropped into that corner will fall inside the double wall of the cloth, causing the egg to vanish. Now, this is a very good bag, and it's been used by, as I say, some very, very The Mardo bag that I've changed somewhat in shape, as I say, it used to be quite long with the opening at the top and quite short depth. I've made it actually so the opening is on the side and it fits my hand. Later on, we will show you how to construct one of these bags, and it's my heartfelt suggestion that you construct it to fit the spread of your hand. It's not etched in stone, but it's a good idea. Now, the pocket on the tab of the... yes, here it is. I sometimes fool myself with it. The pocket is in full view. Now, you can imagine as a magician, if we can't see it, then there's not very much chance of a layman who has no idea there's a secret pocket of ever finding it. And yet it's right here. It goes across the entire width of the bag, and yet it's only open for halfway. The design of the bag helps to camouflage the pocket when it's not in use. The other change that I've made is I've placed the pocket on the outside of the bag, and there's a ribbon that goes around the top. The ribbon comes together where it's stitched, where the seams are stitched, where they overlap, is directly over the pocket. That means that any time that I'm holding the bag, I don't have to look at the bag to find out where the pocket is. My fingers can find it by feeling for the ribbon join. So in my routine, you'll notice some of the slides that I did are basically from the Ross Bertram handling. Now, I've tried a lot of different eggs, and the egg that I prefer is made by Turifog. I know it's one of those strange names to remember, but Turifog eggs are excellent. They're real eggs on the outside, and they have a plastic lining so that they're quite rigid. I don't recommend dropping them on concrete, but they're still quite rigid, and they actually feel and look just like a real egg. And they have a nice heft, so they work nicely in the bag. Now, in the beginning of the Fawcett Ross routine, the Ross Bertram routine, excuse me, I'm just loading my pockets here. He starts with with an egg in his pocket and also a small lemon, which he's going to introduce as a surprise final load. He has the bag examined, or he shows the bag. In my case, I prefer to have the bag examined. I'll bring somebody up from the audience, and I'll have them first of all take a look at the stitching. And now, by holding it like this, here is the slit in the bag, as you can see. I place my thumb directly across that slit as I say, look at the seam along the edge of the bag. Notice how beautifully it's made. Now my thumb's covering the slit. This is when a spectator's looking right on top of me. I now bring my attention to the bottom of the bag, folding over to conceal the slit beneath the folded part, and I say, notice there is no seam along the bottom, it's smooth. Now look at the other side, notice how this seam is beautifully made, and they see a solid seam on this side. Now I very carefully turn the bag inside out. Now you can of course let them examine this as closely as they like, because the pocket's on the other side, of course. Now, this point, it's time to introduce the egg. Now, Fawcett Ross Bertram vanishes the egg by holding it this way, and as he places it apparently into the corner of the bag, he's going to place it into the pocket, and then place his thumb up into the corner to make it look as if it's taking the egg here. I can show you that a little easier with our net bag. As he's placing the egg up into the bag, the second and third fingers open the pocket and drop the egg into it as the thumb comes up where it's taken apparently to look like the egg in the corner of the bag. At that point, he smacks it, shows the egg is completely gone from the bag, and turns it inside out one time. This brings the pocket to the outside rear of the bag. Folding it in half this way, and then by simply squeezing, you can squeeze it from the pocket, up the side, until it's close to the top of the bag where it can make its appearance. And now I'll do that for you from here. You show the bag and the egg makes its appearance. Now, one of the vanishes he used in his routine was a sleight of hand vanish. In other words, this is the plain side of the bag. There is no pocket here. He apparently places the egg against there. In actual fact, he just keeps it in his hand and makes a pass of placing the egg there. Then Fawcett Ross does something that I don't do. I'm sorry, I keep saying Fawcett Ross and I mean Ross Bertram. We will have to go through and just edit that all out. The egg is palmed here. He will now do the old manipulator's move of rolling it around his body to show his hand empty as he makes the egg disappear and then reach up and produce it. For me, I don't like that, mainly because I sometimes have people looking in the sides. So I'll place the egg here and make it simply vanish like this and produce it from my arm. All I'm doing here is, as I fold that corner over, I'm squeezing the egg out the back of that little tunnel that is formed. By folding with my index fingers like a pair of scissors, it squeezes it directly into the palm of my hand, where I can then reproduce it from some other place. Apparently doing the same thing, I flip the bag over and the egg goes apparently in the same place, but this time I will tuck it down into the pocket and then fold the corner over to conceal it. I'll do that by showing it here, and then show this hand empty. Now I can show that the egg is really gone and turn it inside out once more. Remember, now the pocket's on the inside and it's facing me. If I hold it right here, I can leave the egg fall down into the corner where I can retrieve it from my hand or do a very nice flourishy production like this. Now the pocket is inside, and you can do almost any routine that you want with the egg bag, of course, including the Charlie Miller, Johnny Thompson routine, which I think is published on another DVD from Johnny Thompson, and very well worth having. The nice thing about this, as over the Mellini bag, is you don't have to tuck the egg up into the corner. It only goes up a small way inside the bag, like this. You can invite a spectator to come up and take a look inside the bag. In fact, you can ask them to reach in and pull it inside out. They can't feel anything in there because the egg is in your fingers. You can ask them to look inside and they can't see anything because the egg is right here in your fingers. You can ask them to reach inside the bag and take out the egg. Because they're standing on the other side of you, when they reach in, the back of their hand is directly over, or directly where the pocket is, which means that they can't possibly feel it unless they can feel with the back of the hand, which makes this virtually child-proof. I think that whoever performed this is some sort of a surprise finish for it. I think the effect almost demands it. The way that Ross Bertram introduced his egg into the bag, his surprise load into the bag, I should say, was he contrived to be in a situation where the pocket was on the inside of the bag, and he said, you know, some people hide the egg in the pocket. Well, I'll just do it. Some people put the egg in the pocket. Some people put the egg inside the bag. But I want you to see that the egg is not in my pocket and not inside the bag. There's only a lemon in here, and that was how he did it. Obviously, by saying when some people put the egg in their pocket, and then he pounds the lemon and comes out with the egg at his fingertips. Some people put the egg inside the bag. He puts the egg in the pocket and takes the lemon in the top of the bag. Says now he can of course show the empty hand and show the pocket empty as he wishes, and then show that the bag only has a lemon in it. For my next mystery, I'd like to borrow somebody's watch. You can give anybody at all. This is a nice watch. Would you mind if I just borrow that for a second?
Yeah.
I'll take care of it. Hold on to it for just a second, because I see that's a very nice watch and I don't want to damage it. So I have here a little cloth bag that they use for transporting jewelry in. It's a very soft material and it's designed specifically so it won't damage your very beautiful watch. Now, if you don't mind, I'll just borrow that and drop that into the bag. And I'm sorry, there must have been a hole in the bag. You have a nice watch. Can I borrow yours? I'll try again. No, that's okay. Never mind. I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, well, that would be pretty much the vanish for the watch in the nest of boxes. What you just have seen, the vanish of the watch. I use this in conjunction with Tommy Wonder's second method for the nest of boxes. Now, the vanish, I think, once you know about how the egg bag works, speaks for itself, but I will tell you a couple of the little details about it. I'll put this as the spectator's watch. I'll just put here for safekeeping. Now, I have a duplicate watch which I keep in the pocket of the egg bag. This doesn't have to be an exact duplicate of the borrowed watch. I have this gold-colored one, and I have another one that has a dark brown leather strap. The body, I guess that's the body part of the watch, has been all knocked out and filled with clear epoxy. It's just one solid lump. Because it keeps hitting the stage floor and getting kicked off, it has to take a beating. I've also soldered the pins in place so that it doesn't pop apart. The watch, my duplicate watch, folds very flat. Now, as I say, it doesn't exactly have to match the one that you borrow, just as long as the one you borrow is sort of a gold color. And the reason for that is the spectators only see it for a brief period of time, once while it's falling to the floor and the other while it's sailing off into the wings. So I simply turn the bag inside out to show it empty and eventually end up holding it with the watch directly above the open pocket in the back. And I'm sort of holding back between my little finger and third finger, which allows my thumb and first finger to hold the watch. When I release those, the watch falls down from behind the bag, but my little finger and third finger keep the bag from falling as well. This is coordinated so that as I drop the borrowed watch into the bag, the other one falls directly from behind. The instant that it hits the floor, it gets kicked off into the wings. Now at this point people are reacting by laughing and wondering what the heck's going on. And at that point I reach in, take the watch into a finger palm and pull the bag inside out, pulling it all the way over my hand like this, which gives me a chance to look inside and make sure I have a good clean palm on the watch before allowing my hand to drop and then turning and throwing the watch on the floor. As I do that, the watch simply goes into my pants pocket. I'll say there must be a hole in the bag, let me try your watch, and then you look at any of the great people who have featured the egg bag in their routines, in their program, and you will see that each one of them has used it as a character piece. They allow their personality to infuse the effect, because let's face it, vanishing and producing a small egg from a little cloth bag is not as thrilling as vanishing the Statue of Liberty, for example. So it does have an awful lot to do with how you present it. I strongly recommend you bring one or two people up on the stage to join you for the effect. That way you can have some fun with them. I also recommend that you think carefully about making a nice final surprise load, even if you just steal it from underneath your jacket in a little holder and dump it in the bag as you're shaking hands farewell with the spectator. I think a final load certainly does punctuate the end of the effect for the audience. So that's all there is to it. Have fun with the Mardo egg bag. I know, I always have. Hi, you know, most people boast that their mums can make apple pie better than anybody. Well, my mum can make egg bags better than anybody else. and I mean it. How you've made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of egg bags.
Thousands.
Thousands, there you go. And specifically the bag that we're discussing on this DVD, which is the Mado egg bag. Now, the bag, as you know, because you've already seen part of this, has the pocket right here and halfway down one side. And we're going to just see quickly how one of these goes together, okay? So, now, Mum, what about material?
We need a plaid. Royal Stewart is preferable, but...
Right, that was the one I had that you made for me,
yeah,
wasn't it? Royal
yeah.
Stewart, yeah.
But any kind of plaid that has a line that's that you can make the slit on without it being seen from the audience is okay.
Okay, good. And sort of a lightweight pattern on both
Yeah.
sides.
Yes, it must be patterned on both sides.
And I guess the more you pay, the better quality you get, right?
Definitely.
And to make one bag, you need half a yard?
Half a yard.
Okay. So, now you take your half a yard, and if I'm going wrong here, let me know. What have I done? Oh, there it is. Okay, no, this is one that's already stitched. We don't need that for a minute.
No, you need the one that...
It's the one on the floor over here. I think that sounds like it works for me. Okay. So 2 pieces. When you lay it down to cut it out, you've got to make sure. Now you said you've got to make sure these lines, the pattern lines up exactly
identical.
Identical
Yeah.
underneath. Must be exactly identical. And then you cut out two pieces. One is 18 inches long.
Yeah.
Right. 18 inches long by, you told me I've forgotten,
8 3/4.
8 3/4. Okay. Once you've done that, now you're going to start working on the pocket, right?
Yes.
You're going to work on the pocket.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut the slit for the pocket.
But first of all, we're going to put the tape on.
Oh, right, tape. Now this is on the back of the pocket, because it's cut with a knife or a very sharp scissors.
Yeah.
So the material doesn't fray. Mum irons on some of this Dritz iron-on mending fabric.
Or Bundex, it's the same thing.
Or Bondex, okay. And you cut the piece, what size?
It's 4.5 by 1/2 inch.
Oh, okay. 4.5 by 1/2 inch. And when you cut these pieces out, you have to make sure that you've got a line 4.5 inches from the top edge, right?
Right.
So this is, let's say we're going to call this the top edge.
Yeah.
4.5 inches down, if we used to measure that, that line would be there. And that's the line we're going to cut along to conceal our pocket, right? So on the back of that, we're going to stick that piece of tape directly centered over the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in the middle of where you're going to cut.
Right.
So you're going to cut along there, and you put it in the middle of...
Yeah, so wherever the line we choose, we directly center that tape over it so it cuts along the middle of the tape. That gets ironed on, and before we cut it, we're going to stitch it, right?
Stitch it.
Now we're stitching it just under the line, that is towards that side,
Yeah.
right? Just what that would be like an... Oh, you got one already done over here, haven't you?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at that.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one I had earlier on. Right. So the first thing you do is you pin that in place, don't you?
Yeah.
Right here, you put a pin through here, I believe.
Yeah. No, you don't put the pin yet.
No, you stitch this first.
You stitch it.
Okay.
Stitch it along.
And
then,
now, so we're stitching that. The entire width of this thing.
Yes.
The cut is on my side and the stitching is on your side, and
That's
it's about what's that? 1/8 of an inch below where the cut is going to be.
Yeah.
Is where you stitch it.
Yeah.
Right. All the way. Okay. Good.
Okay. So you've sewn it, and then to cut it, you must make sure that you don't
Oh, right.
cut the two.
Only cut through one thickness, right?
only cut through one thickness.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that
Yeah, just be very careful.
yeah.
You just fold it across and put your scissors in and snip
Yeah.
along. And you don't cut all the way through. It doesn't go all the way off the edge. There's about 1/4 of an
Yeah.
inch, or half an inch there, a
Yeah.
1/4 of an inch, where it's open so that it stays
that keeps
together.
it together.
Okay.
And
Got
then
that
you
part.
put a pin,
That's when we put. I knew we put a pin.
and usually that at this time I use a little tiny bit of freight check.
Right. Now this is along this side on the
It's in
the outside,
It's in the
right?
middle, yeah.
on the outside, and you put some of this stuff.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
This is called Prim Frecheck liquid seam sealant.
Yeah.
It's like this, and just put a little tiny bit of that along
Yeah.
there. Okay, good.
And all these materials can be obtained at the same store that you get your fabric.
Right. So all the fabric store, go to Joann's and get your drits and your prims. Okay.
And then when you've put that on there, this pin's important.
Okay.
So make sure
Yeah.
you.
And that's both layers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So we've got the pin. We've got everything set
it's
up
all
now.
sewn.
Now we're ready to fold it up and stitch it, aren't
Yeah. And then we put the top layer. This is the right side where the slit is, up to the top.
we? Right. Lining everything up.
Lining everything up.
So this is now the wrong side of the material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't forget that's the top, goes onto the top, and then the bottom goes
Onto the bottom. So
Onto-
that bottom folds under.
forward.
Yeah. So
that.
yeah.
So you do
Sure.
that, and then,
You stitch down.
yeah, wait a minute, we can show them.
Yeah. You're going to stitch down on this side and on
Half
this
an inch
side.
each side.
Half an inch in, which is going to end you up.
Like this, I believe.
Oh, need that pin back. Okay, dead time, don't worry. We'll fix this in the edit. Yeah, that's right. Oh. Now where does the pin go?
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, never mind. We can.
We know that.
We know where the pin is.
We know
yeah.
where the pin goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've sewn half an inch
In from either side.
from either side.
Now you also snip off these little
Yeah.
corners here, so it
So it looks
So
better when
you get a
it's-
nice sharp corner when you
Yeah,
turn it inside out.
yeah.
Right. Now I know some people make these rounded, but I like the sharp corner. I think it looks a lot better and more
Okay.
finished.
So then you put your hand inside and
Until you
Fine.
feel the pin.
where the pin is, that's where the slit is. And you want that to be exposed, so you turn one over.
And before you go any further, make sure you've got the slit on the outside of the bag at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which it is right here.
There.
Yeah.
And the pin's there.
And the pin would be here, yeah.
Yeah. Then you get the top two.
Right. The top two. Now you're going to bind the top edge. Just let's see how the top edge of this is bound
Yeah.
with a ribbon.
But
And
we
this is the ribbon, right?
pin. Give me
Oh,
that
here's your pin.
That's that, then we can show it properly. Okay. Then you turn it over so that the pin is underneath. And you get a length of ribbon. It's about 18 inches.
18 inches long.
Yeah.
And it's about an inch wide, right?
Yeah. No,
Satin.
7/8.
7/8
Yeah,
inch
don't
wide.
have an inch. 7/8.
7/8 satin ribbon, right?
Yeah, and you take it in about 2 inches. Usually, if you fold the first little bit in half, you've got a little guide.
Oh, you can see whereabouts what line it comes to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the plaid, it's quite easy.
Yeah.
So then you stitch around there,
So you stitch once.
One
you
side.
don't have it folded in half. You're stitching just one side of
Just
the ribbon.
one side.
And that's the inside.
Yeah.
Right.
and then you turn it to the right side where the slit is. And you're doing this so that when you're working with the bag, you know that the slits, that's where it's joined, and you can feel that when you're working.
Right. If you're
Yeah.
doing the routine, you don't have to look down to find out where the slit is. You just run it through your fingers, and when you feel the seam where the ribbon comes together, you know that's right above. That marks the
Yeah.
X marks the spot. So
Yeah.
it saves you having to look at the bag to find the pocket.
So that's the way you do it.
That's it.
And that's the bag gets complete.
And then the very end of the ribbon, where they overlap, you just sort of fold it in, don't you, like this? You just sort of, you don't have it just raw.
No, wait a minute.
No, you just fold it over. Yeah, that's
Just
it.
fold it over
Yeah.
and
Yeah, okay.
there you go.
And there we go. That's it. And then you press it all with the pocket on the outside where it's supposed to be
Yeah,
to begin
take
with.
your pin away now.
Take your pin away, and that's it.
That's
Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah.
you got it
Wash
right.
it?
Hmm?
How do we wash it?
Yeah. About cleaning.
Storing in the cardboard?
Well, they can.
Yeah. So cleaning is or washing them. It's not recommended, is it?
No.
Really? No, because you'll take the starch out of the material or something,
And sometimes the
and take
fabric
this. So
bleeds.
we don't wash it.
Sometimes the fabric bleeds.
The fabric bleeds. Okay, so forget about that. If
Yeah.
it gets dirty, just get a new one. Make a
Yeah.
new one. Easy enough to.
Or you can dry clean it at home.
Oh,
with the
yeah,
many
use a home
mater-
dry cleaner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
many things you can get.
Yeah, and now also storing it, I put a piece of cardboard in mine,
Yes.
and I know when you make them to sell, you ship them with
Yeah,
cardboard
yeah,
inside,
that's-
and a plastic, heavy-duty plastic bag on the outside. That way, you're looking after it to travel with. Okay, good.
Well, that didn't sound very professional, like, but
Well, it
that
doesn't
was
have
all
to.
right.